Vonderhaar! Well, okay. Well, I can't complain too much because sometimes this happens too. So, I mean, what are you going to do? At the end of the day, it happens. Where are my manners? My name is Hutch, and I make videos and put them on the internet. And now we're introduced. I've introduced you to me. That catchphrase is sold, man. I just said that because it was very literally exactly what I was doing at the time. And then I just started doing it over and over again because I thought it was funny. But I've learned my lesson. I'm gonna skip the unnecessary. I'm gonna trim the fat on this one because the last video. And if you guys didn't see the last video, I'm gonna have it pop up on the screen right now for a second. And you should probably click over to that first. And it's not about making gazillions of dollars off views. I don't know why I do that. I don't know why I give those kind of disclaimers. I suppose it's because I'm self-conscious and I just assume that people are going to think I'm greedy or something. So I have to tell people I'm not greedy, but I end up looking like I'm hiding something or something like that. Anyways, after I just said I was going to skip the unnecessary fat in the introduction, I did it anyways. So yesterday I did a video on and I called it The Truth About Respawn, and it was me talking about exactly what went down at the time that me and Adam left. And I was surprised to find out that a lot of people in the comments were didn't know that Adam had left, which is exactly the point why I'm making videos like this, because I don't like miscommunication and I do not like misrepresentation of actual facts. And so I like making videos where I talk about things very openly and honestly. And whoops, scratched the mic there. But I want to pick up where I left off yesterday, and that was right around the time that the seed had been planted of individual channels making money, and then me being a salaried worker not being able to capitalize on that, and how it affected me at the time. And like I told you, at the time, it was when it first started happening, it was sort of like this moment where my eyes got big when I found out, yeah, they're partnering individual channels. And it's like, what do you mean they're partnering individual? Like, they make money on their channel? Like, that concept was so foreign to me and so good. I mean, that was such a good spot to be in that it was hard for me to understand that was what was really going on. And so initially I had this moment where I was like, well, what do I want to do here? And so I talked to some friends about it, and I talked to some coworkers about it, and I decided to stay. And one thing a lot of people were asking in the comments is, do you regret staying? Do you wish you would have left at the time that they were partnering channels? And no, not at all. I regret nothing. My time in LA, although painful as it was at the end, not by circumstance, because I was good and I don't want to seem ungrateful for what I had, like physically in my possession and the people that I had in my life. Like that was all great. But the memories and the people that I've met and the friendships that I made and the relationships that I built down there, to me are totally worth whatever bit of discomfort I was going through at the end. And really, it was only like the last few months that I got like sad, because right after I decided, okay, well, I'm going to stay. I'm not going to go back into the partnership program. I want to stay. And Machinima had even told us, like they told me and Nanners, like, you guys are more than welcome to go back to your personal channels and do that if you want. If you want to make money off that, you can do that. So they never strong-armed us. They never said, well, we got you by the balls now, bitch. You're done. Like, it was not like that at all. And that's why I was happy to see that a lot of people were surprised at yesterday's commentary, because I wasn't bad-mouthing Machinima, because that's not my intent. I mean, there are certainly things that Machinima does as a company that I do not agree with, and that's always been the case, but I've always been vocal about that. I would hop on Twitter and get myself in trouble sometimes because I would be sort of deprecating about the company that I was working for, but not in a malicious way. I would just say, I think this is a mistake. And Machinima has always been cool with that kind of transparency. They've always told me when it came to my Twitter account, like, you can do whatever you want, man. Like, it's anything goes. People like honesty, and you seem to do that well, so keep doing that. So this is not like a a Ray William Johnson versus Maker Studio situation that we got going on here. This is not a public quarrel. I still work with Machinima. I'm partnered through them. I get outside work from them too. It's a really solid relationship right now. And what's great is that I've had the benefits of knowing what it's like to be in internal production for the last 2 years. So when I get hit up to go do some kind of a field shoot or something like that on my own now as a partner, field shoot just means you go somewhere to shoot something. It's exactly how it sounds. I know how to do that. Like I can go to England and produce and edit a pretty polished segment. And so that's not, this stuff isn't, like I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't get the job. And so that's why I don't have any regrets. And so for the better part of a year after I had finally made that decision, I was like, no, I'm going to stay. I mean, I made my decision and I was happy with it because, man, Respawn was just such a dream job for such a long time. It's so hard to explain. I mean, I would come in, I mean, it was like you were going to, it's like you were going to this one spot to hang out with your friends for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And then you'd come home and just do whatever you want, play video games or make dinner. It doesn't matter. But it was so fun for us for a long time. But what ended up happening is that it just got too much. It just got way too much. I mean, individual channels were now making insane amounts of money, and I don't want to keep going back to the money because I'm obsessed with it or anything like that. And I'm not going to deny that money absolutely played a part in my frustration with my current situation. When you're making one thing and you could be making another, it just kind of eats at you. And I think after enough time had passed and some things were changing around the company too, and then Adam decided to leave before I did. He actually, he was a lot more courageous than I was. The truth is that when I left, it wasn't so much that I was sad. I was more angry. I was very, very angry with myself because my shameless admission is that I was terrified to do anything on my own. I wanted Machinima to just come to me and tell me exactly what to do with my life. And that was kind of like the theme. I didn't know how to take care of myself. It was just so hard for me to, I had to learn that lesson, I guess is how you would say it. And so finally, and I mentioned it before, but someone pulled me aside, a coworker, and said, you always have options, you always have a choice, and you should do something about your situation if you're not happy. That was actually Wood. A lot of people thought that was Nanners, but that was actually Wood that told me that. And then 5 minutes later, I went inside, requested a meeting, and I quit. And when I quit, I didn't quit because I wanted to make more money. I quit because I was very unhappy and I wanted to get away from it all. And so that's what I did. I quit. I dropped off the face of the planet for 4 or 5 months, and here I am. And I've run out of time again, but I'd like to open this up for questions. If you guys have any questions, I'm willing to make another video on this and answer any specific questions that you guys have about that situation, and then maybe I'll expand on it further. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great weekend. Bye.